24M, said to my sister, 27F, about minding her business? Throwaway because this is very personal and embarrassing for my sister. This happened a while ago and I'm still getting shite for it, so I think I know your answer, but maybe some explanation will help? So around 6 months ago, my fiancée, we were together for around 7 years, but were friends before that, left me, because she realized she never loved me and that I was holding her back. She was not interested in therapy, and I am not in the habit of begging someone to stay, so I helped her pack and dropped her off at a hotel, which is what she wanted, and where she asked to be left. About a month ago she called me crying in the middle of the night to say that she had made a mistake and wanted to come home. I had promptly hung up on her, because I also firmly believe in the rule, don't let them tell you they don't want you more than once. Apparently, my family didn't get the memo because for a while after that my family, particularly the older women, had been pressuring me to hear her out and even going so far as to tell me her side of the story, and how she had a breakdown and it didn't have anything to do with me. Blah blah blah, don't buy it. My sister recently called me out of the blue and started talking to me about how I don't want to be the reason for anything bad, so I should call and talk to my ex. I tried to brush it off, but she kept saying things like,
"What's up everyone, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button now."
well, you don't want it to be your fault is all I'm saying. And sure tea like that. I didn't like what she was implying, so I admit I snapped and said something not so nice. Something kinda like, maybe you should worry about your own relationship, I mean, God knows it takes all of your mental fortitude to keep your pants on. Which is bad because her first 2 marriages ended due to cheating on her end. After a moment, she started crying on the phone and kept saying, I can't believe you would say that, and that's so cruel, you don't know what I went through. I replied something like, and that's why I usually stay out of it, you know? Try to mind my business? Apparently that isn't even close to the same thing, and since then I've been getting yelled at by all the women in the family, but at least the ex-talk has quit. AITA? Now to the comments, unusual shopping 1099. NTA. You are not responsible for anything bad happening. She got exactly what she asked of you. To tell someone you've been living life with for 7 years you never loved them and they were holding you back is pretty powerful. I'm sorry wouldn't fix that broken trust for me. I would not be surprised if she already had a backup plan, that plan being another person, and it didn't work out. Now she realizes she took her life for granted and ended a good thing. If this was your sister's first attempt at sticking her toe into the situation, I can see why she's so taken aback. But it sounds like all the women in your family are acting as a team, so she knew what she was getting herself into. Full_prune 7491. Sister blamed her exes for why she cheated on them. She is also blaming OP for ex leaving him. NTA. Ex made her choice. OP wants to move on. End of story.
Story 2. Entitled Woman Screams at Me and My Husband because our shop is kosher. So to set things off, I, 26F, on the 28th I will be 27, I own a sandwich shop with my 27M husband. We are both Jewish, so our shop is kosher. We aren't extremely religious, though we do the bare minimum. This story happened a few days ago, and I just can't believe it happened. So, this was in the middle of a very warm day, so the air conditioning was on 19 degrees I think. Anyway, around 3 p.m. a woman comes into the shop and orders her sandwich. All good until she asks for pork in her sandwich, so I point to the sign above that says the rules and the shop doesn't sell pig. She got upset, I assume, and says, "Can't you just give it to me?" One time, so I tell her we don't have any pig meat in the shop, so she gets more upset and yells, "Go get me ducking pork you biatch," which is the point my anger issues kick in, and I tell her in a rather annoyed tone, "Lady, this is a kosher shop. If you want pig that badly, go to a different shop." And she screams, "There isn't another shop in a 50-mile radius, get me what I ducking want." If you like this video then like it. Then my husband comes out of the back due to the loud noise, and quickly tries to defuse the situation. I tell him what happened and he told me to go to the back and calm down, so I go to the back and put some pretty loud music on my headphones. This is from what my husband told me later on that day. Apparently the woman screamed at him that he's a dirty ducking Jew, "Give me pork right now," Well, he told me that he threatened to call the cops on her and she leaves pretty upset. So yeah, it happened and we bought a big chalkboard and wrote big on the board, "We do not sell pig, this is a kosher shop," and the rules below it. Edit, it happened when the shop barely has customers. Story 3. I have the most entitled co-worker. My co-workers are the most entitled people I know. They think anything that I own can be used by them. Food, wet wipes, tissues, etc. all fall under this category. Our office is set in such a way that we have a long table with no partition. My manager helps herself to my wet wipes or tissues whenever she wants. She knows I keep them because I am allergic to sanitizer and multiple handwashing results in cracked skin for me. Next is my colleague who I recently started working with. She takes away this tiny fan I own without asking and keeps it with her till I ask for it. I usually have a snack hoard cause I get hungry. She helps herself to whatever she wants without ever replacing what she took. She also will ask me to order food for her from my food delivery app. She pays for it, but honestly the premium costs very little. Then there is a colleague I call Mr. Mooch. I have posted about him before. Check my account for more about him. He feels entitled to my food app too. He has zero shame in asking me for my ID and password. Not just for my food app, but also for my Amazon Prime and Netflix. I know for a fact that when he somehow wheedles someone into giving their password, he passes it on to multiple people. If you think that's all, wait for it. The internet at my office sucks, so I use my own data. I have a good data plan and have plenty of leftover data. Now my coworkers keep begging me for my internet too. How do I put an end to it? My saying no doesn't really seem to work. Edited to add, I have read all the comments and decided to answer them here. Do you say no to them using the fan? Yes, I do. But it usually is more of, I need it now. It's just that it seems like such a small thing to say no to. That's why I let them have it. We are always fighting over AC and room temp, so sometimes it gets really hot. Do you say no to them taking food? Okay, this one is a bit tricky. We all get paid decently, so money is not an issue. My parents taught me never to be stingy with food. Which means if I was given a piece of chocolate, I must share. I honestly cannot say no to anyone wanting food. When you come from a country where people die due to hunger and malnutrition, not sharing snacks seems such a stingy thing to do. We have our lunch together, often sharing food we brought from home. So, this is one I am willing to let go. Why do I let them use my food app? I am going to put an end to this. Something happened today that pissed me off. Why do I let them use my internet data? I am going to address this in an update cause, boohoo boy, that is a whole different can of worms. Thanks for the insight and tough talk, guys. We'll have to set strong boundaries and practice. Now to the comments, Lighthouse Beach. You keep saying no when they ask to use your services. You do not need a reason or any excuse for saying no. Just say it and ignore whatever mutterings they do. You take back the fan when your coworker takes it from your area and you move it back to your space. I can't tell from this if you have a personal drawer or cabinet for your wipes/tissues, if you do put your property in there. If you don't put it in a personal bag, equivalent to a handbag, which most people would not go into, or maybe buy small packs of each that can be stuffed into a pant pocket. Mostly learn to say no and stick up for yourself. They do it because they have been getting away with it. Good luck. Crystal clear waters. Get a work bag. Put your work supplies in it only. Keep it shut. Don't let anyone into it. Take it when you go. If anyone starts to ask, say with confidence, it's costing me too much to share. Sorry. As for app passwords, change them all. Tell whoever, I've had a password breach, so I'm not giving them out anymore. Just put your foot down. Sorry, you are too nice. XOXO. If you were in OP's shoes, what would you not do? AITA for telling my friend to stop faulting her money and calling her a gold digger? A whole NSFW. I, 39F, have been BFFs with Jill, 40F, since we were in high school. Between the two of us, she's always been a bombshell. Blonde, tall, slim, big boobs, etc. She never dated anyone in high school, which was weird to me because almost everyone in our school did, including myself. When we were in college and she was still turning guys down, I asked her why, and she said she wants someone who is financially stable. I laughed it off at the time. I should also mention she grew up poor, as in her mother was going to the food bank poor. After we graduated, she got a job at a gym teaching yoga. I continued my education to be a teacher. She eventually met someone at the gym and he's rich, like I can't even comprehend the kind of money this guy has. Fast forward to now, they're married, with 2 kids, and I believe she signed a prenup when they married. We were out to dinner on the Saturday that just passed with 2 other friends from college, and she wanted to go to a very expensive place. Her treat. She does this a lot. Flaunts her money, clothes, trips etc. etc. I always try to smile and ignore it, but it was been slowly bothering me. The dinner was going fine until one of our friends Amanda asked Jill what she was planned for her birthday. Jill said her and her husband are going to Greece for 3 weeks. Amanda and Sharon both made comments about how nice and lovely that is, and I kind of scoffed at it. When Jill asked me what was wrong, I admittedly lost it. I told her I'm tired of her faulting her money at everyone all the time and everyone knows she only married her husband for money. It got really quiet for a couple of seconds, and to my surprise, Jill very calmly asked if that's what everyone really thought. I said yes. Jill then asked if it was at all possible that she initially dated him for his money but fell in love with him along the way. Both our other friends said of course. At the same time I said no. I told her she fell in love with what he can provide for her. She then asked me if I love what my boyfriend provides for me, which I was different because I never started dating him for those things. She countered that with of course you did, if you were just attracted to him but he wasn't loving, providing, caring, you wouldn't still be in a relationship with him, and if you were it would be an unhappy and unhealthy one. I argued it's still not the same thing. She then stood up and said she has other places to be and not to worry about the bill. She left and the 3 of us finished our meal in silence. When the server came around, he handed me the bill for my meal only. She paid for herself and the other 2 but left me to pay for an almost $50 meal that I really couldn't afford. I texted her and called her an asshole. She replied saying not to message her again until I apologize for my earlier comments. I admit I might have been too hard, but I don't think I'm wrong. So AITA? Before I get into the comments. My question is, how is she a teacher but can't spell etc. etc. and faulting, really? Now to the comments. Coco Sneeze. YTA. So when Jill treats you and other friends for a lovely dinner, her treat, she's a gold digger flaunting her money, but when she leaves you with your portion of the bill to pay, you can't afford it and she's an AH for not paying your bill. You can't have it both ways. Pick a lane and stick to it. Alarmed_jellyfish 555. OP clearly doesn't think too highly of, or care much about, this so-called friend. If anything, it sounds like she only even hangs out with her for the perks, like high-end restaurants on her dime. Pretty sure OP is the gold digger in this story. Zappergirl02. It sounds like OP has been jealous of this friend since high school. It doesn't sound like the friend is flaunting anything. She's trying to do a nice thing for her friends, and she was asked about her vacation plans. YTA, OP. B. I think OP felt superior before. Her comment on her mother and them being poor and her being weird for not dating. It sounds like she felt she was better and OP now resents their friend for being in a better place than her. It's jealousy/envy. She made better choices and waited for the right person, but it's easier to call her a gold digger for making better decisions than OP. Hello underscore just sayin'. This post reeks with jealousy. Maybe stuff is missing, but I don't see Jill flaunting money. She has the means, so she wants to treat her friends. If Jill didn't treat, I wonder if OP would be complaining that her rich friend is being stingy with her money. And she only mentioned Greece because someone asked, what was Jill supposed to do? Lie and say she's not doing anything? For the judgment, follow for more.